and I wanted to ask this. I wanted to ask this because this kind of showed, to me, when I came to Georgetown, you hear the tradition and you hear of the people and obviously the legendary careers that our great Hoyas have had, from your dad, and the list goes on, from Sleepy and so forth and so forth, But when you got to Georgetown, and as a senior, me and Free come in. And in the middle of the season, early in the season, coach decides that it's best for the team and best for us to move you to the bench and let Free start, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta understand, like, if that happened to me and I'm a senior, I don't know. That's very tough for me to swallow that pill. Even if, I don't know if I could have did that. I'm just being real. So that's why I just feel the mentalities were different, So when that happened, and I still remembered how when things got a little haywire, and haywire, I mean, like, after that game we lost to Memphis, and it felt like we lost the whole world, you were the one that called the meeting.
You did call a meeting. You
Pat
did. You did. You did call the meeting.
You called the meeting. Pat was the one that decided that, listen, even if you're telling us now that you didn't feel that team had a chance, but you were still doing everything in your power to make sure that team had a chance, right? And to make sure you had your imprint on that team, and your imprint is about winning. And that's what you were bred to do. That's what you're about, and that's what this Georgetown, these brothers, are other, fellow alumni and all this stuff that come before. That's what we're about. So now knowing that you got goals that you want to accomplish, and winning is part of the goal. How do you accept, how did you accept that role? And eventually you became Big East player, 6 man a year. That's what's crazy. You accepted that and relished in that role. So when that conversation was brought to you, how did you see the bigger picture? How did you handle that? How were you able to be man enough? Because you're a man, and men got ego. Men got pride. Man got pride. So how were you able to deal with that in your senior year?
At first, I wasn't. I'm not gonna lie. I really wasn't. I remember when Coach told me we were getting ready for practice, and we're where the bleachers are on the top by his office. He calls me over there. I want to talk to you. I'm thinking about starting Free. Oh, you about to sit Dewan out? Like, what you like? What, you about to sit down Sap? Like, I know you're not gonna take the 3 seniors out of the starting line. Like, who you about to sit out?
Right.
He's like, I feel like what you do for us might be a little better coming off the bench. And I'm like, hold on, what are you talking about? Now, at the time, I'm playing well. Like, I'm not, I'm probably averaging like 8 and 7 or something like that, which is 16 and 14 in a paced offense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sitting, I'm like, Coach, I'm playing well. I'm playing defense. I'm doing what I feel like I got to do. Why me? And then, initially it was a selfish thing. I was like, why me? Like, why do I have to be the guy to take the backseat? Why do I have to be the guy to, I'm in my senior year, I already felt like, the last 4 years for me have kind of not been the best. I'm finally starting to play basketball at a level that I felt like was pretty high. And, I was just like, what? And like, I just couldn't believe it. And I remember I think we had practice that day, and I think we played a game the next day. I don't remember practice.
Right.
I think I fouled out of the next game on purpose because I just really didn't feel like being there. Right. And then Coach talked to me again. He's like, I don't want you to think I'm taking you out of the starting lineup as a punishment.
Yeah, I do think that.
And I did. I felt like it was like you trying to say that. I felt like at the time he was trying to say that I was the reason that we weren't going to be successful, because I'm like, I felt the exact opposite. I felt like I was the guy who was going to keep us together. I felt like I was the guy who was going to be the one to, help bring us to where we needed to be to get to that next level. And he kind of explained to me, he's like, I didn't bring you off the bench because I don't think that badly of you. I think that highly of you. And I feel like what Free does, he needs to build his confidence. I feel like Free, the way he scores the ball, we're gonna need him in 2 years and 3 years to be that guy. And he's not gonna get that playing with the guys on the bench. I feel like you as a player can play with these guys on the bench and get them better. And it's also not about who starts the game; it's about who finishes.
Yeah, because a lot of times I didn't really finish games after. I was sharp by the end. Like last 5 minutes of the game, I wasn't in the game.
And so for me, like I kind of took that to heart. I was like, all right, coach says, and I was definitely that kid that was like, coach said this, so it's got to be right. Like I was definitely that dude, you know what I'm saying? Like definitely was that guy.
But Coach Klein said it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. And so like just from then on, I was like, all right, you know what? It gives me a chance to, even like what you said, Chris, to sit on the bench and see the game, view it from a different perspective, and then get in the game and see where I can make a difference. And I think that's what really helped me moving forward, especially because like in my career, I knew if I wanted to be a pro, I wasn't gonna be no starter most likely. I wasn't gonna be a star on another team. Teams got to be able to come into a gym and see me come off the bench, bring energy, make a difference in the game, because that's what I would do at the next level anyway. And so I really took it to heart. I was like, all right, I got to be the best player coming off the bench in the country, not just our league. I wanted to be the best player coming off the bench in our country. And I honestly felt like I was that year. I mean, maybe my numbers wouldn't say otherwise, but I feel like there was no person who came in the game and had a bigger impact during that 07 away season than me.
That's fact.
Man, showed.
I will say, man,
they made the award for you. That's how good of a six man you were that year for us. Like it shows. So it's like,
wait, what? They made an award for you?
Yeah, they didn't have that.
There was no 6 man of the year before that year in the Big East.
He ain't that nice.
Oh, I'm that nice. I'm that nice. But like for real, like, but I'll be lying if I say it didn't hurt though. Like, you know, as a man, like you said, I got an ego.
Right.
It's my senior year. I'm trying to get to the league.
Right.
And people who are getting to the league averaging 6 and 4 off a bench, you know, in the draft. And
so let me ask you, was there ever any conversation between y'all two?
Me and Free?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. But I don't think there ever really had to be, because for me, I wasn't going to be the guy who was going to hold us back.
Right.
You know, like I was never going to be the guy who was going to be like, man, Free, F you, dog, this bull stuff, this my spot, blah, 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 blah. Right. And Free's not the type of guy to really be confrontational. And it wasn't going to be a confrontation ever, but like, I think it was more like, all right, how can I get you better, bro? And it wasn't a talk. It was just like more like a look, like, you got to get better, and I got to help you get better.
Like I mean, also I was a freshman. Like, what was I really going to say? Like, what could I really, like? It was just more so like I was more so just trying to follow behind y'all anyway. Right. Just get in where I fit in, pretty much. So I mean, that was pretty much it for me my freshman year. Like, just trying to learn, you know, just trying to understand the offense myself was just like the biggest thing for me when I was there, and trying to just follow behind the guys who actually have been to a Final Four. Like, I wasn't looking to start or anything like that. It was just, all right, well, I'm gonna fit in and I'm gonna do what I have to do, and pretty much that was it. So,
and I do think too that in that freshman year, like if you look at even Free's stats when it came to the first half of the year when he wasn't starting to the second half of the year when he was starting, his numbers went up. I mean, his numbers were way better, I think. I mean, he was more efficient. I believe his scoring went up. I mean, just to be able to play with those guys, I think it was better for him. And honestly, for me, I felt like it was better for me to come off the bench too, because for me to be able to go in a game and I'm like, all right, I know John's rolling. I know Roy's our number one, but John hadn't missed a shot in 4 minutes.
In 4 years.
Yeah, right. And I'm like, coach. So I go in the game like, yo, coach, let me run 1-2-2, and I'm gonna tell John to come around. I'm gonna set a really illegal screen. Right. He's gonna be wide open. And he gonna knock him down. Like I was able to see a game from a different, and it allowed me to be more of a kind of player coach coming off the bench. Whereas, like, you know, when I was starting, I was our 5th option on the floor with the starters. So, you know what I'm saying? Roy's 1, John's 2, DeJuan 3, Sap's gonna go get his, so he 4th, you know, Sap 4th, and then I'm just trying to get in where I can fit in, playing defense and trying to make plays. So I felt like I was able to carry more of the load when, you know, Jeremiah comes in the game. Jeremiah's not a scorer. You know, I know Vernon. So me, Jeremiah, Vernon, the first 2 guys off the bench, and then, you know, because you was hurt, you know, it allows me, coach puts the ball in my hands more. So
hey,
I
Pat,
was loving it.
If Pat, we'd have been in the second unit we'd have been, hey, listen.
We'd have ran, though.
We'd have been moving, boy.
We'd have been running, because like that, hey, tell him, bro, everybody's like, yo, if I get this rebound, Chris, don't even come back to me to get the ball. Just go. I'm throwing it every time.
I'm out. You know, I did everything for your family, for your dad. And your senior year, when you're trying to make your lasting impression, the coach's son comes and tells you that you got to come off the bench. We might have to duke it out. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being honest. We both sons of the founders of this, you know. So I just commend you for that, because that's a very, very tough situation. And I honestly can say, I don't know if it was the best situation.
I mean, it was hit or miss. I mean, I do think that it put me in a position where I could showcase some more stuff, but, you know, obviously being a starter and, you know, potentially getting those extra minutes could have been good. But honestly, if I had to be honest, and this is something I never told anybody, the harder part for me was Final Four year when Mark Eggerson left and coach starting DeJuan instead of me. You know, honestly, that was the more difficult time for me, because I felt like at that time I was playing okay, and, you know, it would have been me, John, Jeff, Tyler in the starting lineup at the same time. So, and I felt like, you know, at the time, DeJuan was more talented-wise as far as offensively, but defensively, I think I brought it more than he did. And rebounding, I think I felt like I brought it more than he did. So that one hurt me probably a little more. And then even so, we played Duke our Final Four year, and that was the only game in my life where I put on a jersey and didn't play. You know what I'm saying? Until I got to the NBA.
Right.
And I think those moments kind of helped build me up for when it happened with Free. It let me know that, like, all right, things can change. It doesn't really matter. Like, you still can move on. But, like, I think those 2 moments, like when, you know, especially when Mark left and coach was like, all right, those are minutes up, starting, someone's going to start. And I'm talking about, I went out that next, you know, 7 practices before the next game, and I was trying to get that starting spot. I really was. Right. And then when I didn't get it, I was like, well, dang, like, maybe this ain't it. Like, there was times where I thought at that moment, I was like, man, maybe I shouldn't even became to Georgetown. Maybe I should stop playing basketball, because maybe I'm not as good as I think I am.
Right. That's tough. And so, you know, now hearing this and hearing you talk about this, it gives some type of it gives some type of validity, some confirmation as to his moves to JT3. So if Mark Eggerson, I remember Mark was nice.
Mark was cold.
Yeah, Mark was nice. And when Mark, and strong dude, when Mark left and DeJuan come in, that position, he wanted buckets.
Exactly.
That's what it was.
Exactly.
So that's what it was. So I think that's what it made it more understanding for you the second time around. You know, you understand, okay, this is like, and it worked. Even though I'm not saying it wasn't hard, I'm not saying it wasn't difficult or anything or diminished that, you know, dang, you got to go through this, you know. But I think you kind of had a better understanding the second time around on how you can handle it. I think that played a role. You know, just hearing what you're saying about it, because it's interesting, you know, because it's the same type of role. That position is the same type of player. It was Mark, and then now he wants Free to start, you know.
Definitely.
So that's interesting, man. That's really interesting.
Yeah, it is.
I didn't even think about that. Mark Eggerson was tight. Wherever he at, I hope he's doing well. That was a bad dude. I remember playing against him on our visits.
Yeah, when I seen Mark the first time, I was like, yo, this dude's like 6'5", 210, handles, bouncy, can shoot. I was like, hey, we're going to be nice with this dude right here. Yeah. You know, that freshman class, that Jesse Sapp's freshman class was, you know, even though they weren't as highly touted as y'all, they were deep. I mean, that was Sapp, Mark Eggerson, Josh Thornton, and Tay Spann. And when they were all highly ranked, good players, but like it just didn't work out for most of them. I mean, Mark, I want to say Josh was the first one to leave. Then Mark, Sapp, you know, stepped in, and then he was, you know, he probably was the least ranked out of them, but had probably the best college career out of all of them.
Yeah. Sapp was nice though.
Shout out Jesse Sapp, man. Shout out Jesse Sapp.
Big shout out, Jay. Yeah. So the funny thing about Sat, right? So I was in Greece, and I'm playing on my team, and one of our point guards goes down, and Jesse was playing somewhere, and I was like, "Hey, Jesse, you trying to come play on my team, bro?"
Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah, where you at?" I'm like, "I'm in Trickley, Greece. We first division. Like, well, we got a guard on our team. He just got hurt, but they got two dudes from one hot college team that's playing on our team right now, and they thinking about bringing a third dude from that team and having him play with them." And I was like, "Y'all not gonna play buddy ball with me, bro."
Right.
So I said, I need somebody to come up here and be on my side, son. So I called Jesse, and Jesse got out of his deal, and we brought him back in. I was like, yeah, we needed that. We definitely. I can't have nobody playing buddy ball. I'm trying to win games, man. Not about the stats.
Right. Shout out Jesse Sapp, man. 21. That was my man. All right, so after Georgetown, you finish up the year. We finish up the year. How we finished up, as we know, it was disappointing to say the least. It was disappointing when we had to come back the next day. This is my first rodeo. When we had to come back the next day from losing in the Big East Championship, and we had to go to the daggone selection Sunday. I did not want to do that.
I didn't either.
That was so
Leo, I remember that joint like it was yesterday.
Man, that was rough.
Yeah.
But you know what was crazy? So like, and what was crazy is so when the brackets came out. Now remember I told y'all earlier that I was like, I don't see us getting to San Antonio, but we had just come. We had just won the regular season. We got to the conference finals tournament finals in the conference. And I was like, yo, maybe we are coming around. So then I look at the bracket, and I'm like, all right, we got UMBC first. We're going to smack them. Then we're going to play Gonzaga, because I didn't even know nothing about Steph Davidson.
Yeah.
We're going to smack Gonzaga.
Right.
Then we're going to play Wisconsin. And I had laid it out like, oh, we're going to smack them. We got a straight shot to the Elite Eight.
Right.
I said, we're going to go to the Elite Eight, and that's when our first real tough game is. That's what I'm worried about. And I was like, we gonna do this. Like I was like, we got a chance, but we just gotta play our cards right. And then damn Steph gonna come in and 50.
Steph changed the game, man. Who was the Elite 8 game that you were thinking about?
Kansas.
It would have been Kansas for sure.
Kansas.
And I was like, that would. I think that's our first tough game that I'm like, do we have it?
We would have got at Wisconsin. We would have got at Gonzaga easy.
Easy. I thought those first three games were guaranteed wins. Like I literally thought the 64, the 32 were easy wins. I thought Sweet 16 was easy. I thought our first real game where we would have to really focus in was going to be the Kansas game.
And I'm gonna tell you, why I was so confident at that time, because I feel at that time there was nobody in the whole world in college basketball that could stop Big Dunks.
At all.
And Big Dawg. After I saw him jump hook the death out of Hasheem Thabit, is you. He was dropping that joint straight on right hand, left hand. Wow, man, what? Hit the three to win.
Hit the three to win.
And hit the three to win. If you look at me on the sideline, as soon as he get the ball at the top of the key, I jump up. The Argyle sweater on and all that. Jump up. Ooh, that was crazy, man. That was the noon Big East games.
Yep.
Noon game. Training table at 8. God.
Remember, I don't even want to think about them.
Goodness gracious. All right, so next part. So now, man, you finished your career. I think you solidified yourself as a legend, a Hoya legend. I think it's, just me looking at it from the outside in, looking at you, I think it's another accomplishment to just be up like, yeah, Pops, I'm up there with you. Right. It's to get on that wall. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to your draft process and all that stuff, how was that? How did you, what was that like? What was the stuff going? How was that experience?
Well, it was hard. It was hard because, you got to get teams to really start to really think about you. And, for the most part, they're not looking at the guys who are coming off the bench, the 23-year-old seniors. And so I was like, all right, I got a lot of work to do. And I honestly think Coach probably had a coach and my agent had to talk to people from Portsmouth into letting me in to go to Portsmouth. I don't know this to be true, but I don't think I got an invite to start. And but I went down to Portsmouth, And it started really in the conference tournament in the end of the season, because if y'all remember, like the Marquette game, I had a really good Marquette game.
Yep.
The Louisville game, I played well, and then like a lot of I credit Jay Billis and I think it was Len Elmore, who were like really hyping me and commentating during the games, and I was like,
I think it was Digger.
It might have been Digger too, but it was definitely Jay Billis, because I remember Jay Billis had a comment where he's like, well, you couldn't tell me that my man, I went to South Carolina, I can't remember his name now, but he got drafted to the Knicks. Like, you gonna tell me that kid can be in the league and this Ewing kid can't? Yeah, Ronaldo. You gonna tell me Ronaldo can be in the league and Ewing can't? Look at all he's doing for the Hoyas. And I was like, I think that's what really started people really thinking about me at the next level. So when I went to Portsmouth, I felt like that was the first time in my life where I could really be selfish, because it was a showcase. It wasn't, wins and losses really didn't matter. And, any other time, even in AAU, I want to win the championship. Ain't no real championship at Portsmouth.
Right.
And so I felt like that was the first time in my life where I could finally play like some selfish basketball. And for me, selfish meant doing everything. So I wanted every rebound. I wanted every assist. I wanted every steal. So I really went out there and I was trying to cook everybody by doing everything. And
how did that work?
I'm sorry?
How did that work for you?
Oh, it was great. My first game in Portsmouth, I almost had a triple-double. I think I was like 4 assists away from a triple-double or something like that. And then the second game, I was on my way to the same thing, and I ended up spraining my ankle. And so, but at that point, people were like, dang, we didn't see him do a lot of the stuff that he's doing now at Georgetown. Right. But that's when it goes back to what I told y'all earlier, where I went to Georgetown to become a better basketball player, because I already knew I was an athlete. I already knew I could run and I knew I could jump, but it's the other stuff that I needed to learn how to do to become a better basketball player. Right. And so when I got there and I was being athletic and being a good basketball player at the same time, and they're like, whoa, there's something different here. He's not just who he showed he was at Georgetown. There's something more to it. Right. And so when I got the invitation to go to NBA pre-draft in Orlando at the time, I was like, all right, this is what I needed. People are starting to really see that I can play. Yeah, I can play. I can actually do this. It's not just I'm Patrick Ewing's son, or I'm not just this, this ball of energy coming off the bench. I can actually play basketball. Right. And went to NBA pre-draft and had a pretty solid pre-draft too. But I knew that wasn't enough. Because if you go back and, draft boards were on the internet were just now starting to get big at the time. And I wasn't on any draft board. I was on any draft board. But I would sit there with my agent and he's like, Pat, I'm going to be real with you. Most likely, you have no chance of going in the lotto, which is what I knew. I wasn't stupid. There's a chance that you could go in the 25 range to the end of the draft. But for the most part, if you don't go between 25 and 30, you don't really want to get drafted. But if you get drafted in the early part of the second round, you could still get, a guaranteed deal. If you get drafted at the end of the second round, we'd rather you not get drafted so you can go either make money in Europe or you can pick your own team and try to make the team like that. Right. So I just went out there with that mindset, all right, anytime I see somebody who's on the draft board,
gotta go at it.
Out there, I gotta go at you. And that's the first time I ever felt like that, because for my whole life, people have been going at me.
It's a great feeling, ain't it?
Oh, it was amazing. Every time I lined up with somebody, I'm like, okay, he's a top 20 pick for sure. Right. I'm going at it.
Right.
So I'm going at it.
That's your mentality naturally.
Oh, definitely.
Well, as a competitor,
you want to go at everybody and you want to play the best. So I literally went out there during pre-draft, during the Orlando camp, and I was just trying to go at people. It didn't matter who it was. I wanted to be the most efficient player with, I wanted to get 20 points on 8 shots. I wanted to have, if I played 15 minutes, I wanted to have 10 rebounds. If I wanted to have 6 assists every game. I wanted to be everywhere, and had a great showing there. And I got pretty much every team that I knew that was going to be in that range where I could get drafted asked me to do a workout.
Okay.
And so I remember going through the workouts, and I was very fortunate that my agent was like, we're not going to be that guy that goes and does 30 workouts. We're not doing that. We're going to strategically put you in workouts with teams that we think would really take you or pick you up as a free agent.
Right.
And so I went and did I want to say it was 10 workouts, maybe 12 workouts. but my last workout was with the Sacramento Kings. And I was very fortunate because Roy had already worked out with Sacramento Kings once. And they had the, I think, the 12th pick in the draft. And so they brought him back to do another workout with me.
Right.
So it's me, Roy, Jason Thompson, and another guy who I can't remember who it was that did the workout together. So in the workout, it's me and Roy playing 2-on-2 versus Jason Thompson and the other dude.
Oh, love. That's love.
And so for me, I was like, y'all done messed up.
Yeah,
like, you let me play basketball with somebody I've been playing with for the last, 8 years.
Yeah, right.
Play basketball with somebody I've been playing with for the last, 8 years.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know this dude, he knows me. Like, we've been on the same team for the last 3 years. Like, this is not good. And when I tell you, me and Roy were destroying in that workout, it was crazy. And I was like, and in my mind, just me being the team guy again, man, they definitely picked Roy with the 12th pick. Like, I ain't even thinking about myself at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, they definitely got to pick Roy with the 12th pick. Like, he just killed this. I didn't even know who Jason Thompson was at the time.
Yeah,
ain't no way they picking Jason Thompson over Roy because Roy just ate him alive. But and then come draft night, they picked Jason.
Yeah.
And I was like, how? How? Like, Roy was killing.
Right.
But so then I remember I'm sitting there, me and Roy went to Big John's house for the draft, and I'm sitting there. Roy gets drafted. So it's Roy, his girlfriend, his mom, his dad, our agent, JT3, Big Coach, and myself, and Danielle, who's one of our agent as well. And we're I'm hyped. Roy gets drafted, but he got picked 17. So I'm watching, it's right. We're getting right to the range where we think I'm gonna get drafted, 25 to 30 range, or 25 and after. And we get to the end of the first round, and I'm like, dang, I get picked in the first round. Like, do I want to even get drafted anymore? Like, do I want to just pick my own team and see if I can make a team? If I do get picked, I want it to be the Spurs because they do the way they use their G League system. Like, they kind of had laid out a plan for me that I believed in when I did my interviews with them.
Right.
And so I remember I'm sitting there, they get through the 30s, then they go to commercial break. At pick 41, they go to a commercial break. And so during the commercial break, my dad calls me. He's like, congratulations. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
Right.
And he's like, you just got drafted. I'm like, no, I didn't. They had a commercial break. And I just saw on the bottom line, Sacramento Kings select my man that played at UVA, the point guard from UVA. Why am I not remembering his name? Yeah, Sean Singletary. They picked Sean Singletary. So I'm like, Dad, they just picked Sean. Like, they not. What are you congratulating me for? He's like, just watch. So the cameras go back on.
Wait. For all my NBA conspiracy theorists, that is another signal that there might be something going on in the NBA.
No, man, that was they just.
Hold on.
They get the information first. That's all that was. They get the information first. So
So look, I saw a Shaq interview. Shaq was talking about. He said, "So tell us about your relationship with David Stern." You saw this?
I didn't see that one.
Oh, he said, "Tell us about your relationship with David Stern." And he was like, So the first time I met David Stern, he said, Shaq, where you want to go? You want to go somewhere hot or cold? He said, hot. And this was before the lottery joint. He said it's before the lottery. He said, so he got up on stage. Shaq ain't really ready. He said he wanted to go to somewhere else. I don't know. I don't remember. But he was like, so when the lottery came and David Stern got to the podium, he looked at him and went, and with the first pick.
He act like he was shocked. Me?
Right. And he's like, oh, me? So all my conspiracy theorists, Big Pat in on, Coach Pat know about the game, man.
He might know something. I don't know. But, it was crazy because, at first I was like, it was a 43rd pick.
Right.
And my initial thought was like, yo, I finally made it. And, my second thought was, my jersey about to go on the wall, bump that. That's my whole thought process through the whole time at Georgetown. Right. I need to have my jersey on this wall that I've been looking at since I was 2 years old. I remember looking at this wall since I was 2 and seeing these jerseys up here. And my mind is finally going to go up there, right? That's my whole thought process. Right. And then, you sit there and it's like, wow, I just got drafted. Everything that I worked for is finally kind of coming to fruition. But that's just the start, though. I mean,
all right, guys, great stuff, right? But we decided to pause this interview right here. I know it's tough because Pat is dropping gems on us this segment. But don't worry, we'll drop part 2 of this episode on Wednesday. Stay tuned. And for more updates, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Dawg Talk 101.